So in the story, it may seem as if they are different people going to different directions. It may seem as if the body as it is somebody there who grew up in a certain location, who works at a certain company, who has a family, but that's just a story. There's already no one there. That's as it is. It's just an expression of this, of what is, also expressing as somebody who's living life. So everything is beautiful just the way it is. The sense of being separate from everything is already just this. It also appears in this as this. It doesn't belong to anyone. There is no one who has that sense of being separate. Therefore, it can never, there is no one who will fall away. That sense may seem to stop, and there may be a recognition that there wasn't anyone anyway. It was just the totality, what is, expressing as that. And that the recognition can never belong to any separate self, because there is no separate self. It's just this, which is the only thing that is, or thingless thing, if I may say, expressing as that. Recognizing that it has never been any separate self or somebody who is a seeker. So just this is already storyless. Just this is already going nowhere. Just this is already nothing being every apparent thing.
There's an addictiveness. Sorry, I'm just going to interject.
Okay, go ahead.
There's an addictiveness to personality. So, you know, there's an addictiveness to desire, and you know, when people desire, you know, fame or money or whatever, it's what seems to attract the most is not the actual fame or the money. It's getting lost in the desire for fame or money. You know, it's having a purpose, and you can see it kind of drawing people in. And it seems to be the same with their problems. You know, people love their problems, right?
Yeah.
Because it gives everything meaning. And there's an addictiveness. People come back and back to it. And then there gets to be a long history. And it becomes more and more difficult to let that go, right? To recalibrate. So take on board that is this already. Those are stories appearing to arising. That stories appearing to arise that will, you know, on people's deathbeds or eventually because of the futility drop away. Yet nothing becomes hypnotized.
Yeah.
Nothing becomes hypnotized. Yeah, I phoned into Alan's group again this Saturday or Sunday. And a lot of just really great folks, and a lot of the struggles that people feel, although they may not exist, is the power of that draw to the mind. You know, I always feel that your message of that being this too, and there's no one that's being drawn in, and that you just that is this already, is really powerful, because that means that you can set the struggle down, the struggle against the pull, right, and watch it. And that was really powerful for me. But what would you say out there to folks drawn into that struggle, that illusory struggle with their desires and problems and so forth?
Yeah, what seems to be coming up here is that there is really nothing to be done, because already there is no one out there who is struggling, or who is identifying with the story. There can be an identification with the story, and there may seem to be an apparent suffering happening because of that identification with the story. Because when it is seen from this, that all that seems to be happening is just a story, then there can be a recognition that nothing matters. Even when that struggle seems to happen, it can be watched happening, and it can be seen that it's just a struggle for no one. There's no one there. There can be an identification with the story, of which it's already not being done by anybody. There's no one who's identifying with the story. You know, identification with the story itself is just another story. So everything is nothing, is already nothing. But when there is that identification with the story, it may seem as if somebody is there suffering, going through things. But that's as it is, it's already that which can never suffer. It's already that which is not a story, also expressing as that. So that's why I said that there is really nothing to be done about it, because there is no one there is no victim already. There is no victim already. There's just this expressing as a thief. There's just this expressing as a policeman. There's just this expressing as a seeker who has been seeking for years, who can't, or seems to struggle, trying to find this. But that's already this. There's already no seeker there, real separate seeker. It's just this already. And that's as well, seeking energy may seem to stop, and then there can be a recognition that there's just no one anyway. So there is actually no advice that's coming up here to be given to those who seem to struggle, because everything is this already.
I think there was some advice in there. I think you snuck some advice in. unbeknownst to yourself, maybe.
Yeah, that's how it's coming up here. I don't know where it's going to.
I mean, there might not be anything to be done, but resting in the recognition that it's just a story, dissipate the draw, I think was in there somewhere.
Yeah.